Hello guys, Ethan from GHQ here. Excuse the noise, we're in the shop and obviously shops are noisy, so this is the Legend World Star build. I know people have been, well, at least someone's been asking for it, so thanks for that person, and yeah, we'll get into the deck profile. Obviously Astrid is still buddy because I like anime buddies. Next we'll start the deck profile off with 4 Hour. This card is stupid and shouldn't exist, especially not with all the discard the deck has. The stats said everything about it doesn't matter apart from its last effect. When it's discarded from your hand, gauge 1 and draw 1. So you cast you just gauge and draw for any card that discards. Don't forget you have the Light of Guidance which discards, and you nullify the attack, so you get to gauge and draw from that, so you can get more shields. You also have your item, give me a staff, discard to draw, and then gauge and draw again, so it's very good. It's size 0, don't use it for any other thing other than its discard thing, so really good effect. Oh, and obviously not Astrius, what's her name? Sophia also discards, so on to our next, size 0. 4 Astrius, size 0. At the beginning of your main phase, if there are stars on left or right, on your left and right, burn 1 card, draw a card, and deal 1 damage to your opponent. Only downside with these cards, this card and the size 2 Astrius, is they are mandatory. So you can't stop yourself from decking out if you get to that late game, because you have to draw 1 and you have to burn your opponent. So that's the only downside with these, but it's a 2/1/2 size 0 star. It's a really good card, and this is a good card for, and if you're not like me and like anime big bodies that are just from anime, then you can run this. It's a really good card. Very good buddy option as well. Next, size 1s. 2 Aquarius, Dark Sentinel Aquarium. 3/1/3, size 1. When it enters the field, you put cards to the top of your deck equal to the number of star monsters on your field other than this card. So if you have your star on the left and right, which you should do because you're stars, you gauge 2 essentially when this card enters. So only downside is it doesn't count itself, but it'd be a bit silly how if on entry you just gain 3 if this card was on field and 2 others. So to keep it fair, they've made it so it's just itself. Next we have 2 of the card I also really like. This is also buddy options. There's a lot of buddy options in this deck just because they've got so many good cards. Size 1, Leo's Star Sentinel Leon. 4/1/1, size 1. If your buddy monster is a star, reduce the size of this card by 3/1, so it includes itself obviously if it's buddy, so it's size 0 essentially all the time, because your legend will star, your buddy's going to be a star. Counteract, if you have another star on the field, you may put the card from your field in your drop zone. If you do, you gauge 2. So first turn, if you need that extra 2 gauge, you can call this. If you've got a star in your field, like your I don't think your item is a star? No, your item is not star, so if you've got like Astrius or something on field, pop this on your turn as well, including your opponent's. My best is putting this in center. Your opponent attacking it, you use skill to pop it, gauge 2, so it stops penetrating and stuff, and it's counter speed, so that makes it really good. So it's just a good card for overall for the deck. Gauge, it gets the gauge you need and stops the attacks, which is obviously always good. Next, another buddy option. 4 Roger Orion. 3/1/2, size 1. Free to call, and you may discard up to 2 star cards from your hand. If you do, draw the same number of e-cards equal to the cards you discard. You get millions once per turn. Not a names once per turn, so you may call this. Use the skill to discard, draw 2. If you draw to another one of these, you can call it a new skill. So it's pretty silly how you can do that, but it's pretty fair because you have to discard star cards, and until we get more support for stars, we don't have all the deck star yet. I think it's only just How It All and the staff and the Green staff which aren't stars, but it's still 7 cards out of 50, which happens often where you don't have stars to discard. So that's the only downside with that. Next, the card which made the stars ridiculously stupid, and there's a reason why this card's quite, it's like 20 quid each. Mysterious Fortune Teller Sophia. 41, size 1. Pay a gauge to call it. Nullify all abilities of your opponent's monsters that's in battle with this card, and this ability can't be nullified, so even if you're against stars, then this card nullifies Astrius' effect, etc. And when this card, pay attention of Astrius, that was the name of the ability, so only once a turn. When this card enters the field, you may discard a card. If you do, discard a card. How It All. If you do, you search your deck for to 1 card with set spell, not including, it does include Great Fate, but it doesn't have to search Great Fate, which makes it really good, because you can search any set spells, so even the generic one which starts bouncing, which is really good, and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. Only activates once per turn because obviously it's a name and effect. Really good card. She is also buddy material. I'd say definitely here, buddy. I would buddy her if I had another, but I don't have another. That's the only reason why I'm not buddy her. Next, 4 Buddy. Stellar Deity Astrius. 626, size 2, 2 gauge, star on your left and right, can't be destroyed. Simple as, good buddy. Only problem is they can still be returned, but it keeps it fair. 3 of the new Astrius. Don't know if this is new to me or a Decafan, but it's new to this. Astrius Birthday of Wind and Stars. 727, size 2 impact monster, 2 gauge, and put a star monster from your field into your drop zone. Star on your left and right cannot be destroyed. And at the beginning of your main phase, if you have a star on your left and right, draw a card and gain a life. Again, like the size 0 Astrius, it's mandatory, so if you have both on field, you'll draw 2 every turn, not including your draw, charge and draw, so you could be drawing up to 4 per turn, which is good and bad, obviously, because you don't want to deck out. Interesting ruling about this card. Let's say you have a card on left and right, and you want to put this card on top over here. To pay the cost, you have to put a star from field to drop zone, so let's say you want to put this to drop. There is a play timing before this card comes down, so your opponent can use counter timing to kill Saphir before you call this card to protect it. So what you want to do, ideally, is before you call Astrius, is you want to have a size 0 on the field, obviously star size 0 or whatever, or if that's size 0 then size 1. Call this card, pay 2 gauge, and put the card in the center to drop zone. And then you call over Astrius. If you call over a card, then there's no playtime that your opponent can use to kill this. So you protect it by going, but it does take 2 cards to do, and you do leave yourself with open center. But it's so worth it because otherwise your opponent can just kill this and then stop your Great Fate. So it's definitely better to just do that. Then we have, let's get her back. So that's a really good card. Obviously helps the deck a lot, as most of these new cards do. Next one off. Brilliant Telepath. It's a 1-off against more good decks. Gauge and life, set spell, all stars and monsters in your field gain a crit. Only set 1 per turn, and it's at 1 when you field. I barely use it. Like, even against like a bush deck like mummies or something, it always gets sided out, or it always goes into gauge, or it always gets discarded. I rarely use it, but it's there as an option in case you're not, in case you need it. So, I mean, there's a 1 extra slot left, you could change it for something else, either Imaginarian or Leon, but it's not. I think it's still good enough, just in case. Next, 2 Symbol Guard, only cast if you life 6 or less. If there's Brevin Guard in your drop zone, pay the cost for that. You can cast this card without paying the cost. 1 gauge, draw 2. Even though it's a gauge, you no point putting Brevin Guard in the deck because there's another 2 gauge for the deck, just to get this for free for 1 gauge, so you might as well just not run Brevin Guard and save yourself 4 gauge in total possibly. So I like it, it's a good 2-off, maybe 3. Like again, you could run to return, take Buddyfight out for a lot of them. Next shield, 3 Squirrel Gremlin. Only cast during your opponent's turn, nullify the attack if it's not a link attack. Obviously really good in stars because it's a closed center nullify, so if you have monsters in the center, it stops it. So that's really good. Next, more nullifiers, because you can never have enough nullifiers in stars especially. 3 Light of Guidance, cast discard a card from your hand, gauge 1, and the next damage you take is reduced to 0 for this turn. So the damage you take this turn goes to 0. Next time damage will be out, so including the burn damage as well. Don't know if you're going to use it for the burn damage, because burn damage usually is only in packets of 1, maybe 2. So you're not going to use for that, but this is not bad for the first turn. Your opponent swings for 3 or something, you cast this, discard Our Doll, reduce it to 0, gauge from this effect, and then you gauge and draw. So you gauge 2 for going -1 in hand essentially, so it's iffy, but it is worth it in my opinion, because obviously started the gauge. Next, more shields, essentially, but it also protects your spells, which is the most important thing. It protects your set spells. Counter, choose up a star on your field, including spec spells obviously, and during this turn, the next time that card will be destroyed, you may prevent it from leaving the field. If there's a star on left and right, you gauge. You put target on the deck into gauge. This card is stupid because it protects your set spells from spell destruction, and also your item if it was possible they have an item yet, but they don't. So protects that. Also protects monster center, so if you have a size 0 in center, cast this, and it's basically another shield. Prevent the leave from field, but obviously penetration happens, but you still get a gauge on. So really good because it's also another attack. It's basically like having 4 extra shields. Speaking of extra shields, because play timings are a thing, we run 4 Starfall Knights. Your opponent attacks you. say you have Leon on center, use Leon's skill, drop it, gain 2 gauge. Your opponent attacks you again, cast this, call a card from drop. Because they attacked you and there's now monster center, there's no attack target, so the attack stops. So that stops 2 attacks, and you call a monster back. So if you call Leon again, that can stop another attack by using its skill again and getting you another 2 gauge. Really good, and it's also good for during your opponent's final phase. When they declare enter, just go during your final phase, cast this, bring back the size 0 Astros back, and then you start left and right, you can obviously use the effect. So my favourite is doing that, and then having Astros size 0 and Astros size 2 or impact monsters on my left and right, and then using this to call another Astros to center. So I'm burning for 2 and drawing 2 at least, so it's really good. Next, the cards that make the deck. Obviously, Great Fate Frozen Stars, can't run stars without it unless you're playing Zodiac, which then is not stars. Great Fate Frozen Stars, 2 gauge, set spell. If they are a star on left and right, notify all abilities of cards in your opponent's field and in the solid of the cards, so including monsters, impact monsters, soul, any soul effects, items, set spells, everything it nullifies, as long as you've got star on left and right. This will get destroyed by spell destruction every single time. Almost. Obviously it needs a 2 gauge just to keep it fair. And it's just a really good card in general. The abilities of this card can't be nullified. So if you're against Star Mirror Match, God help you, basically you're both just running vanilla deck. Because this card can't be nullified, but your opponent's one can't be nullified. So you just swing, and it's both the vanilla attack. So you're basically both playing vanilla deck. And obviously you can only set 1, because that'd be silly if you can set multiple, and then your opponent has to use one, don't forget of them. I riskily gauge this a lot. If I've got one set, I draw one. If I need a shield, I will charge it, even though ideally you want to keep it in case your opponent does have the item destruction, and then you can quickly put one back down. But it's one of those things where it depends on the situation, but ideally you'd want to keep it in your hand. Next, 3 Gimez Staff. 0/0 power and critical item. Crit cost 1 gauge 1 life. Act, you may rest it. If you do, you gauge 1. So it pays for itself in terms of that. So you're only basically paying 1 life for it. An act, you may discard a card from your hand. If you do draw a card, you may lose this ability once per turn. So it's not the second effect and first effect are not once per turn, and its first effect is not once per turn, so if you manage to stand it, then you can use the effect again, but there's nothing that can stand it yet. And it is, this card is stupid with Aradol, because obviously, like I said earlier, you get to discard a card from hand, Aradol, gauge 1, draw, and then you get to gauge 1 and draw 1. So you draw 2, and you gauge 1, so and if you use the first effect, then you gauge another, so you're basically only paying a life to gauge 2 and draw 2. So, well, to gauge 1 because you're paying a gauge for it. So, I only run it free. I've seen a lot of people play it for, and obviously Zodiac play it for. I find I brick with it a lot. Stars is a deck where you can brick heavily. That's one of the reasons why I didn't take it to Nationals. I was considering it because I think it'd be a very good rogue deck, especially in meta. But in this meta, sorry. But I bricked with it a lot before, and the deck obviously Stars can brick a lot anyway, so I chose to only run it. And that has been my updated profile for Stars. I hope everyone enjoyed, as usual. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and happy gaming.